Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Topical Economics. If you have not subscribed yet, then please subscribe to my channel to continue getting updates about new videos on economics. Make sure to hit the notification bell, so you never miss any of our insightful lessons. In today's video, we are diving into one of the most important concepts in economics, opportunity cost. This is a concept that comes up constantly in both exams and in everyday decisions, but it can be tricky to fully grasp at first. So, how do we make the best decisions in a world where we have limited resources? Opportunity cost is the key. It's all about what we give up when we choose one option over another. And in today's video, we will break it down with some multiple choice questions from past papers, so you can see exactly how to apply this concept, both in your exams and in real life. We will go through each question, look at which answer is correct, and most importantly, I will explain why that's the right answer, and why the other options just don't quite hit the mark. Whether you're prepping for your exams or just trying to brush up on your economics, this video will give you the clarity you need. So, grab your pens, get ready to take notes, and let's break down the concept of opportunity cost. Ready? Let's jump right in. Starting with the first question. A student has nothing to do on a Friday evening. She withdraws $5 from the $100 she has in a savings account and buys a present to take to a party, to which admission is free. What does this involve? A. An opportunity cost equal to $95. B. An opportunity cost equal to other goods she could have bought for $5. C. No opportunity cost, as entrance to the party is free. D. No opportunity cost, as she had no better way of using the time. This question is from year 2022 May-June version 1 paper. The correct answer for this question is option B. An opportunity cost equal to other goods she could have bought for $5. Opportunity cost refers to the value of the next best alternative that you give up when you make a choice. In this scenario, the student has withdrawn $5 from her savings to buy a present. The opportunity cost here is the value of what she could have spent the $5 on instead, whether that's buying something else, saving the money, or investing it. The $5 spent on the gift represents the opportunity cost of the alternatives that were foregone. Analyzing the other options. Option A. An opportunity cost equal to $95 is incorrect, because the opportunity cost is about what you give up from your choices, not about the remaining amount of money in your account. The remaining $95 in her account has no bearing on the $5 spent on the gift. Opportunity cost is linked to the specific choice made, in this case, the $5 spent, not the balance left. Next, option C. No opportunity cost, as entrance to the party is free, is incorrect, because the fact that the party is free does not eliminate the opportunity cost of spending the $5. The opportunity cost here is related to how the student uses her $5, not whether the party costs anything to attend. The student could have spent that $5 in other ways, like buying something else, saving it, or using it for another purpose. So, the free admission to the party does not mean there is no opportunity cost. Lastly, option D. No opportunity cost, as she had no better way of using the time, is incorrect, because the question is about money, not time. Even though the student has no other plans for the evening, the opportunity cost is still the $5 spent on the present. The time spent at the party may have an opportunity cost, but the question is specifically about the decision to spend $5. There are always other ways she could have used the money, and that's what creates the opportunity cost. Moving to the second question. Why might a government choose to increase spending on healthcare instead of spending on building new roads? A. The financial cost of building new roads is lower. B. The opportunity cost of building new roads is lower. C. The opportunity cost of spending on healthcare is lower. D. The social costs of healthcare are higher. This question is from year 2022 February-March version 2 paper. The correct answer for this question is option C. The opportunity cost of spending on healthcare is lower. In economics, opportunity cost refers to the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a choice is made. If a government chooses to increase spending on healthcare rather than building new roads, the opportunity cost depends on the benefits the government would lose from choosing one over the other. In this case, spending on healthcare might be viewed as having a lower opportunity cost compared to spending on roads. This could be because the immediate and long-term benefits of improved healthcare, such as a healthier population, increased productivity, or reduced future healthcare costs, might outweigh the benefits of new roads, especially if the roads are already in good condition or if the healthcare needs are more pressing. If the government's priority is addressing public health issues or reducing the burden on the healthcare system, then the opportunity cost of spending on healthcare, in terms of benefits foregone from roads, is relatively lower. Analyzing the other options. Option A. The financial cost of building new roads is lower is incorrect, because the financial cost alone doesn't necessarily explain why the government would choose healthcare over roads. Even if the financial cost of building roads is lower, this doesn't directly relate to the opportunity cost. The government might still prioritize healthcare if the benefits of improving health outcomes are deemed more important. Next, option B. The opportunity cost of building new roads is lower is incorrect. The question implies that the government is choosing healthcare over new roads, which suggests that the opportunity cost of spending on roads, in terms of benefits foregone, is higher. If the opportunity cost of building roads were lower, it would mean the government would have less reason to choose healthcare over roads, which contradicts the scenario in the question. Lastly, option D. The social costs of healthcare are higher is incorrect, because the social cost of healthcare is not the primary consideration in this question. The government is deciding between two alternatives, healthcare and roads. While social costs, such as overcrowding, inefficiency, or long wait times in healthcare systems, could be relevant, the question is more focused on the opportunity cost of the choices rather than comparing the overall social costs of each option. Moving to the third question. What is an opportunity cost for a consumer spending money on a holiday? A. The potential interest earned if the holiday money had been saved. B. The price paid for an air ticket to the holiday destination. C. The rubbish created during the holiday, which affects the local community. D. The satisfaction that the consumer gains from the holiday. This question is from year 2021 October-November version 2 paper. The correct answer is A. The potential interest earned if the holiday money had been saved. Opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when making a decision. In this case, when the consumer spends money on a holiday, they are foregoing the benefits they could have gained from using that money in another way. If the consumer had chosen to save the money instead of spending it on a holiday, they could have earned interest on those savings. The opportunity cost here is the potential interest they could have earned from saving that money, which is a missed opportunity because they chose to spend it on a holiday instead. Analyzing the other options. Option B. The price paid for an air ticket to the holiday destination is incorrect, because the price paid for the air ticket is the actual expenditure, not the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost refers to what you give up when you make a decision, but the cost of the ticket is already part of the decision being made. It's not an opportunity cost, it's just the price of the trip. Next, option C. The rubbish created during the holiday which affects the local community is incorrect, because environmental costs, like rubbish or waste, are not part of the consumer's personal opportunity cost. They are external costs, or negative externalities, that may affect the local community but don't directly relate to the consumer's choice or the financial opportunity cost of spending money. The opportunity cost would focus on the personal financial trade-offs the consumer faces. Lastly, option D. The satisfaction that the consumer gains from the holiday is also incorrect. Moving to the fourth question. Increasing output of one good reduces production of another good. Which economic concept does this change represent? A. Average cost. B. Diseconomies of scale. C. Economies of scale. D. Opportunity cost. This question is from year 2021 May-June version 3 paper. The correct answer is D. Opportunity cost. The scenario described, where increasing the output of one good reduces the production of another good, represents a trade-off. Opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a choice is made. In this case, as more resources are allocated to producing one good, fewer resources are available for the other good, meaning the opportunity cost of increasing output for one good is the amount of the other good that must be foregone. This is a classic example of opportunity cost in action. The resources used for one product cannot simultaneously be used for another. The opportunity cost is the reduction in the output of the second good. Analyzing the other options. Option A, average cost is incorrect, because average cost refers to the total cost of production divided by the number of units produced. It does not describe the trade-off between producing different goods. The question is specifically asking about the trade-off, the reduction in one good's production when increasing another good's output, which is a concept tied to opportunity cost. Next, option B, diseconomies of scale is incorrect, because diseconomies of scale occur when a company's costs per unit increase as the scale of production increases. Diseconomies of scale typically refer to inefficiencies that arise when a company grows too large, not to the trade-off in production between two goods. Diseconomies of scale are about the cost structure of a firm, not about shifting production between different goods. Lastly, option C, economies of scale is incorrect because economies of scale refer to the cost advantages that firms experience as they increase their scale of production, leading to a decrease in per unit cost. While economies of scale can result in lower costs when increasing the production of a single good, the question is focused on the trade-off between two goods, which is better explained by opportunity cost. Moving to the fifth question. A builder spends 1 hour traveling to and from work. He works 40 hours per week for $200. He is given a choice to work 50 hours a week for an extra $75. What would be the opportunity cost to the builder of working the extra hours? A. The ability to increase his purchasing power. B. The additional time traveling to and from work. C. The increased hourly earnings of $7.50. D. The 10 hours of leisure time. This question is from year 2021 May-June version 1 paper. The correct answer for this question is option D. The 10 hours of leisure time. The opportunity cost is what the builder gives up when making a decision. In this case, the builder is choosing to work 50 hours a week instead of 40 hours, which means he is giving up 10 hours of leisure time, since the extra 10 hours would otherwise be free time for relaxation, personal activities, or rest. The opportunity cost of the additional hours worked is not just the money he earns, but the time he loses that could have been spent doing other things. Analyzing the other options. Option A. The ability to increase his purchasing power is incorrect, because purchasing power refers to the ability to buy goods and services, which does increase with the additional $75 earned. However, the question is specifically asking about the opportunity cost, the next best alternative the builder gives up. While the additional income would increase his purchasing power, the time lost, leisure time, is the opportunity cost, not the ability to buy more. Next, option B. The additional time traveling to and from work is incorrect, because travel time is not the primary opportunity cost here. The builder already spends time traveling to and from work, whether he works 40 or 50 hours. The question is about the opportunity cost of working the additional 10 hours, and the primary trade-off is the time he loses for leisure or other activities, not the time he already spends commuting. Lastly, option C. The increased hourly earnings of $7.50 is incorrect, because the increased hourly earnings, $75 for 10 additional hours, represent a benefit of working the extra hours, not the opportunity cost. The question asks about what the builder sacrifices, the next best alternative, in order to earn that additional income, and that sacrifice is his leisure time, not the money earned. Moving to the sixth question. A farmer sells land used for crops to a firm that will use the land for wind turbines to produce electric power. What is the opportunity cost of this decision by the farmer? A. The cost of installing wind turbines. B. The loss of revenue from crops that grow on the land. C. The profit made from selling the land. D. The reduced cost of producing renewable energy. This question is from year 2021 May-June version 2 paper. The correct answer for this question is option B. The loss of revenue from crops that grow on the land. The opportunity cost refers to the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a decision is made. In this case, the farmer decides to sell the land used for growing crops to a firm that will use it for wind turbines. The opportunity cost to the farmer is the loss of revenue from the crops that could have been grown on the land. If the land is used for wind turbines, the farmer gives up the ability to use the land for crop production, which would have generated income. This foregone income from the land's alternative use, growing crops, is the opportunity cost of the decision. Analyzing the other options. Option A. The cost of installing wind turbines is incorrect, because the cost of installing wind turbines is the responsibility of the firm buying the land, not the farmer. The farmer is selling the land, and the firm will bear the cost of installation. Therefore, this is not the farmer's opportunity cost. Next, option C. The profit made from selling the land is incorrect, because the profit made from selling the land is the benefit the farmer gains from selling the land, not the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost focuses on what is given up, not what is gained. In this case, the farmer gains profit from selling the land, but the opportunity cost is what he loses by no longer using the land for crops. Lastly, option D. The reduced cost of producing renewable energy is incorrect, because the reduced cost of producing renewable energy is a benefit for the firm that installs the wind turbines, not for the farmer. The farmer is not directly concerned with the costs of producing renewable energy. Instead, the farmer's opportunity cost is the foregone income from crops. Moving to the 7th question. A student decides to take up a 2-year apprenticeship for which she will earn $10,000 per year. After that, she expects to earn $25,000 per year. She could take an unskilled job which pays $16,000 per year instead of the apprenticeship. What is the opportunity cost in the 2 years of completing the apprenticeship? A. $10,000. B. $12,000. C. $25,000. D. $32,000. This question is from year 2020 May-June version 2 paper. The correct answer for this question is option B. If the student chooses the apprenticeship, she earns $10,000 per year for 2 years, totaling $20,000 over the 2 years. And, if the student chooses the unskilled job, she would earn $16,000 per year for 2 years, totaling $32,000 over the 2 years. So, by choosing the apprenticeship, the student forgoes the opportunity to earn $32,000 in total, and instead earns $20,000. The opportunity cost is the difference in earnings between the unskilled job and the apprenticeship over the 2 years. Opportunity cost equals foregone income equals $32,000 minus $20,000 equals $12,000. Therefore, the opportunity cost of the apprenticeship, the income the student gives up in the 2 years, is $12,000, which is the correct answer. Moving to the 8th question. A farmer decides to grow potatoes instead of wheat. What is the opportunity cost of growing the potatoes? A. The output of wheat. B. The price of seed potatoes. C. The profit from growing potatoes. D. The time spent preparing the potato field. This question is from year 2020 May-June version 3 paper. The correct answer for this question is option A. The output of wheat. Opportunity cost refers to the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a decision is made. In this case, the farmer decides to grow potatoes instead of wheat. The opportunity cost is the benefit that the farmer gives up by choosing one option over the other. The farmer could have used the land to grow wheat but instead chooses to grow potatoes. Therefore, the opportunity cost is the output of wheat that could have been produced on the land, but is not produced because the farmer chose to grow potatoes instead. In other words, the farmer sacrifices the potential income or yield from wheat to allocate resources, land, labor, etc., to growing potatoes. Analyzing the other options. Option B. The price of seed potatoes is incorrect, because the price of seed potatoes is simply the cost of planting potatoes, but it is not the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is about what the farmer gives up in terms of alternative outputs, e.g., wheat, by choosing to produce potatoes. The price of the seed potatoes is just part of the cost of production for potatoes, not the opportunity cost of the decision. Next, option C. The profit from growing potatoes is incorrect, because the profit from growing potatoes is the benefit or return the farmer gains from the decision to grow potatoes. Opportunity cost refers to what is foregone by making a particular decision, not the benefit or profit that is gained. The profit from growing potatoes is the reward for making the decision, not the cost. Lastly, option D. The time spent preparing the potato field is incorrect, because the time spent preparing the potato field is a part of the costs of growing potatoes, but it is not the opportunity cost. The opportunity cost is about what the farmer could have done instead of growing potatoes, e.g., producing wheat. The time spent is a resource used in the process, but the opportunity cost focuses on the foregone alternative use of that resource. Moving to the 9th question. A deposit of shale oil is discovered in an area of farming. The following estimates are made for a 10-year period. If the land is used only for farming, it would yield income after tax of $10 billion. If the land is used only for shale oil extraction, it would yield income after tax of $40 billion. The government would receive $5 billion in taxes from farming and $10 billion in taxes from shale oil extraction. What is the opportunity cost of using the land only for farming? A. $25 billion. B. $30 billion. C. $35 billion. D. $45 billion. This question is from year 2020 February, March version 2 paper. The correct answer for this question is option C. The opportunity cost of using the land only for farming is the value of the next best alternative, which in this case is shale oil extraction. Income foregone from shale oil extraction, $40 billion, shale oil, $10 billion, farming, equals $30 billion. Taxes foregone from shale oil extraction, $10 billion, shale oil, $5 billion, farming, equals $5 billion. When considering the total opportunity cost, we need to account for both the foregone income and the foregone taxes. So, the total opportunity cost is $30 billion, income, plus $5 billion, taxes, equals $35 billion. Therefore, the correct answer is C, $35 billion. Moving to the 10th question. Sam wrote a list of how he would prefer to spend his Saturday afternoon. Unfortunately, a thunderstorm caused the cricket match and the town parade to be cancelled. Sam went to the cinema. What was the opportunity cost of going to the cinema? A. Going to a cricket match. B. Watching the annual town parade. C. Visiting relatives. D. Losing his Saturday free time. This question is from year 2019 October, November version 1 paper. The correct answer for this question is option C. Opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative that you forego when making a decision. In Sam's case, the cricket match and the town parade were cancelled, so Sam couldn't do those. The next best alternative after those cancellations was visiting relatives. So, the opportunity cost of Sam going to the cinema is the next best alternative he gave up, which in this case is visiting relatives. Moving to the 11th question. In recent years, more golf courses, which use large quantities of water, have opened in China. What may be the opportunity cost of this? A. Cost of water. B. Loss of farmland. C. Sales of golf equipment. D. Wages of golf course staff. This question is from year 2019 May-June version 1 paper. The correct answer for this question is option B, loss of farmland. Opportunity cost refers to the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a decision is made. In this case, the decision to open more golf courses in China means that resources, particularly land and water, are being used for golf course development instead of other potential uses. Since golf courses require large quantities of water and significant land space, the opportunity cost of using these resources for golf courses might be the alternative uses of the land, such as growing crops or using it for other types of productive agricultural activity. This is a trade-off where the land that could have been used for farming is now being used for recreational purposes, so the loss of farmland represents the opportunity cost. Analyzing the other options. Option A, cost of water. While golf courses use a large amount of water, the cost of water is not the opportunity cost. The opportunity cost refers to what is foregone in terms of other alternatives. If the land and water used for golf courses were instead used for farming, the opportunity cost would relate to the loss of agricultural output, not the direct monetary cost of water. Next, option C, sales of golf equipment. Are not the opportunity cost of opening more golf courses. In fact, more golf courses might increase the demand for golf equipment, not decrease it. The opportunity cost focuses on what is given up in the use of resources, land and water, rather than the potential economic activity like selling golf equipment. Lastly, option D, wages of golf course staff are a cost of running a golf course, but they do not represent the opportunity cost. The opportunity cost is about what is foregone by choosing one use of resources, land and water, over another, e.g., farming. Wages paid to staff are part of the operational cost but are not the opportunity cost in this context. Moving to the 12th question. A farmer reduces the land used to grow wheat from 80 hectares to 60 hectares and increases the use of the land for growing potatoes from 80 to 100 hectares. What is the opportunity cost of this change? A. The output from 20 hectares used for growing potatoes. B. The output from 20 hectares used for growing wheat. C. The output from 60 hectares used for growing wheat. D. The output from 80 hectares used for growing potatoes. This question is from year 2019 February-March version 2 paper. The correct answer for this question is option B. The output from 20 hectares used for growing wheat. Opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a decision is made. In this case, the farmer reduces the land used for wheat and increases the land used for potatoes. The opportunity cost is the loss of wheat production that results from reducing the area allocated to wheat. The farmer reduces the land used for wheat from 80 hectares to 60 hectares. This means the farmer gives up 20 hectares of wheat production. The land that is freed up, 20 hectares, is then used for growing potatoes. So, the opportunity cost of using 20 hectares of land for potatoes is the wheat that would have been grown on that land. The output of the 20 hectares of wheat that the farmer gave up is the opportunity cost. Analyzing the other options. Option A. The output from 20 hectares used for growing potatoes is incorrect, because the farmer is gaining 20 hectares of land for potatoes, not losing it. The opportunity cost refers to what is given up, not what is gained. In this case, the opportunity cost is the wheat that was sacrificed in favor of growing potatoes, not the potato output. Next, option C. The output from 60 hectares used for growing wheat is incorrect, because the farmer still uses 60 hectares for wheat, which is not foregone. The opportunity cost is associated with the 20 hectares of wheat land that was given up, not the land that is still being used for wheat. Lastly, option D. The output from 80 hectares used for growing potatoes is incorrect, because the farmer does not have 80 hectares for potatoes. The land used for potatoes increases from 80 to 100 hectares, so the total land for potatoes is 100 hectares, not 80. The opportunity cost focuses on what the farmer gave up, which in this case is the wheat produced on 20 hectares of land. Moving to the 13th question. The Norwegian government chose to spend the profits from oil on stocks, bonds, and property. The possibility of improving domestic infrastructure, therefore, was not taken. Which economic concept does this best illustrate? A. Cost of production. B. Finite resources. C. Opportunity cost. D. Production possibility frontier. This question is from year 2018 May-June version 1 paper. The correct answer for this question is option C, opportunity cost. The situation described illustrates the concept of opportunity cost, which refers to the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a choice is made. In this case, the Norwegian government decided to spend the profits from oil on stocks, bonds, and property. By doing so, they did not invest in improving domestic infrastructure. The opportunity cost here is the foregone improvement in infrastructure, the value of what could have been achieved by using those profits for infrastructure projects instead of financial investments. When a decision is made, the opportunity cost is the value of the alternative option that is not chosen, and in this case, it's the lost potential to improve infrastructure. Analyzing the other options. Option A, cost of production is incorrect, because the cost of production refers to the costs incurred in producing goods and services, such as labor, capital, and raw materials. It does not relate to the choice between different ways of using profits, as in the case here. Next, option B, finite resources is incorrect, because although resources may be finite, limited, the concept of finite resources does not directly explain the situation. The focus in the question is on the trade-off between different uses of resources, which is captured by the concept of opportunity cost, not the mere limitation of resources. Lastly, option D, production possibility frontier, PPF, is incorrect, because the production possibility frontier, PPF, is a graphical representation that shows the maximum possible output combinations of two goods or services given fixed resources. While the PPF does illustrate the trade-offs in resource allocation, the scenario described is more directly related to the concept of opportunity cost, the value of what is sacrificed when one choice is made over another. Moving to the 14th question. A student decides to buy a ticket for a concert instead of buying a new shirt. What is the opportunity cost of buying the ticket? A. The concert. B. The price of the ticket to the concert. C. The shirt. D. The time spent purchasing the ticket. This question is from year 2018 February-March version 2 paper. The correct answer for this question is option C. The shirt. Opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a decision is made. In this case, the student chooses to buy a ticket for a concert instead of buying a new shirt. The opportunity cost is what the student gives up by choosing one option over the other. The breakdown is: the student chooses to buy a concert ticket. The next best alternative is buying the shirt, which is what the student gives up when deciding to purchase the concert ticket instead. So, the opportunity cost of buying the concert ticket is the shirt, as that is what the student cannot buy now because the money is being spent on the concert ticket. Analyzing the other options. Option A. The concert is incorrect, because the concert is the choice the student is making, not the cost. The opportunity cost is what the student forgoes by choosing the concert ticket, which is the shirt in this case, not the concert itself. Next, option B. The price of the ticket to the concert is incorrect, because the price of the ticket is not the opportunity cost, it is simply the cost of the concert ticket. Opportunity cost refers to what is foregone, the next best alternative, not the monetary expense. Lastly, option D. The time spent purchasing the ticket is incorrect, because while time is a resource, the opportunity cost is not the time spent purchasing the ticket. It focuses on the alternative that is sacrificed by making a choice, which, in this case, is the shirt. Moving to the 15th question. A government decides to spend more on defense and cannot spend money on a new airport. Which concepts can be applied to the above statement? A. Budget surplus, external cost. B. Factor of production, private monopoly. C. Public sector, opportunity cost. D. Trade surplus, budget deficit. This question is from year 2017 October-November version 3 paper. The correct answer for this question is option C, public sector, opportunity cost. The scenario describes a decision by the government to allocate more spending to defense and not to build a new airport. This is a classic example of the concept of opportunity cost, as the government faces a trade-off. If it spends more on defense, it cannot allocate that same money to the new airport. Opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a choice is made. In this case, the government's decision to spend more on defense means it gives up the opportunity to use that money for the new airport. This situation also involves the public sector, as the government is involved in the decision-making process. Analyzing the other options. Option A, budget surplus, external cost. Budget surplus refers to a situation where government revenues exceed government spending. This does not apply here, as the statement does not mention a surplus or the fiscal balance. And external cost refers to costs that affect third parties who are not directly involved in an economic transaction, like pollution. This is not relevant to the government's decision between defense and an airport. Next, option B, factor of production, private monopoly. Factor of production refers to resources, land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, used in the production of goods and services. The decision described in the question is more about how the government allocates funds, rather than how production resources are utilized. And private monopoly refers to a market situation where one firm dominates the market for a particular good or service. This is unrelated to the government's allocation of resources. Lastly, option D, trade surplus, budget deficit. Trade surplus refers to a situation where a country exports more than it imports, which is unrelated to the decision the government is making about domestic spending priorities. S&D, budget deficit refers to when government spending exceeds its revenues, which also does not directly apply to this situation unless we are told the government is running a deficit, which the question does not specify. Moving to the 16th question. A person can make 10 items to sell on a craft stall in a day. What is the opportunity cost if the person decides to paint a picture instead? A. 10 craft items. B. The cost of the materials for the craft items. C. The cost of the paint for the picture. D. The value of the picture. This question is from year 2017 May-June version 3 paper. The correct answer for this question is option A, 10 craft items. Opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a choice is made. In this case, the person can either make 10 craft items to sell or choose to paint a picture. By choosing to paint the picture, the person forgoes the opportunity to make the 10 craft items that could have been sold at the craft stall. Therefore, the opportunity cost is the value of the 10 craft items that the person could have made and sold, but did not because they decided to paint the picture instead. Analyzing the other options. Option B. The cost of the materials for the craft items is incorrect, because the cost of materials is a direct cost of making the craft items, but not the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is about what is foregone, the alternative you give up, not the costs incurred in the process. The opportunity cost is the value of the 10 craft items, not the material costs. Next, option C. The cost of the paint for the picture is incorrect, because the cost of the paint is simply an expense related to painting the picture, not the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost refers to what you give up by making a choice, i.e., the 10 craft items, not the specific cost of materials used for the chosen activity. Lastly, option D. The value of the picture is incorrect because the value of the picture is the benefit derived from painting the picture, but the opportunity cost refers to the benefit lost by not choosing the alternative, making the 10 craft items. The value of the picture is not the opportunity cost, it's what the person gains by painting the picture. Moving to the 17th question. Heavy rain caused floods in an area of a country. What may be an opportunity cost of repairing the damage caused? A. The allocation of government funds to the area instead of on a new airport. B. The cost of providing shelter for those made homeless. C. The decline in the tourist industry in the area. D. The loss of profits from businesses affected by the flood. This question is from year 2017 May-June version 2 paper. The correct answer for this question is option A. The allocation of government funds to the area instead of on a new airport. Opportunity cost refers to the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a decision is made. In this case, the government is allocating funds to repair the damage caused by the flood, but those funds could have been used for something else, such as building a new airport. The opportunity cost is the value of the foregone alternative. In this case, the construction of the airport. So, if the government chooses to spend money on flood repairs, it cannot use that same money to fund the new airport. Therefore, the opportunity cost is the allocation of funds to flood repairs instead of on the new airport. Analyzing the other options. Option B. The cost of providing shelter for those made homeless is incorrect, because the cost of providing shelter is a direct cost incurred as part of the flood repair efforts. The opportunity cost refers to what the government forgoes by choosing one use of resources over another, not the actual cost incurred in the chosen option. Next, option C. The decline in the tourist industry in the area is incorrect, because the decline in the tourist industry is an economic consequence of the flood, not an opportunity cost of repairing the flood damage. Opportunity cost is about what is foregone, i.e., the next best alternative use of resources, rather than the negative impacts of the flood itself. Lastly, option D. The loss of profits from businesses affected by the flood is incorrect, because the loss of profits is a consequence of the flood, not an opportunity cost. Opportunity cost relates to what is sacrificed in terms of resources or alternatives when a decision is made. The loss of business profits is part of the impact of the flood, not the decision-making process of how to spend resources. Moving to the 18th question. The diagram shows the choices for an individual between leisure and earnings. He currently earns $25 a day. What is the opportunity cost for the person if he accepts more work and earns $75 a day? A. $25. B. $50. C. 6 hours of leisure a day. D. 12 hours of leisure a day. This question is from year 2017 February-March version 2 paper. The correct answer for this question is option D, 12 hours of leisure per day. In the diagram, we can see that with $25 earnings, leisure hours per day equals 18. Now, when earnings increased to $75 a day, the number of leisure hours reduces to 6 hours a day. So we see that 12 hours of leisure are lost as earnings increase. Hence, that is the opportunity cost. Moving to the 19th question. What could be the opportunity cost of a nuclear power station? A. The running costs of the power station. B. A coal-fired power station. C. The current value of the power station. D. The cost of building the power station. This question is from year 2016 October-November version 2 paper. The correct answer for this question is option B. A coal-fired power station. Opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a decision is made. In this case, the decision to build a nuclear power station involves using resources, such as land, capital, and labor, that could have been used for other projects. So, if a country or company decides to build a nuclear power station instead of other forms of power generation, the opportunity cost is the alternative that is not chosen. One potential alternative to a nuclear power station is building a coal-fired power station. By choosing to build a nuclear plant, they forego the benefits that could have come from building and operating a coal-fired power station. The opportunity cost is what is given up, and in this case, it's the coal-fired power station. Analyzing the other options. Option A. The running costs of the power station is incorrect because the running costs are ongoing expenses associated with the operation of the nuclear power station, but opportunity cost focuses on the value of the next best alternative foregone at the time of making the decision, not the operational costs. Next, option C. The current value of the power station is incorrect, because the current value of the power station is not the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is about what is foregone by choosing one option over another, not the current value of the decision that was made. Lastly, option D. The cost of building the power station is incorrect, because the cost of building the nuclear power station is an explicit cost incurred in the construction process, not the opportunity cost. The opportunity cost refers to what resources could have been used for instead, in this case, a coal-fired power station, not the actual cost of building the plant. Moving to the 20th question. The diagram shows the choices for an individual between leisure and earnings. The person decides to take a job that gives more leisure time. What is the opportunity cost to the individual of moving from position Y to position X? A. $20. B. $80. C. 4 hours of leisure per day. D. 12 hours of leisure per day. This question is from year 2016 May-June version 2 paper. The correct answer for this question is A. $20 is lost as we move from Y to X. Moving to question 21. The diagram shows the choices for an individual between leisure and earnings. What is the opportunity cost to the individual of the extra earnings when moving from position X to position Y? A. $10. B. $40. C. 3 hours of leisure per day. D. 9 hours of leisure per day. This question is from year 2016 May-June version 1 paper. The correct answer for this question is option C. With the movement from X to Y, it is clearly seen that the number of leisure hours reduces from 9 hours to 6 hours per day. So, the opportunity cost is the loss of 3 hours of leisure per day. Moving to question 22. A country raises the school leaving age from 15 to 17 years. What is the opportunity cost of this increased period of school education to the young people affected? A. Costs of training and employing more teachers. B. Financial help necessary for school leavers who go to university. C. Government expenditure on building extra classrooms. D. Lost income from paid employment because of school attendance. This question is from year 2016 February-March version 2 paper. The correct answer for this question is option D. Lost income from paid employment because of school attendance. Opportunity cost refers to the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a decision is made. In this case, the decision to raise the school leaving age from 15 to 17 years means that young people will spend more time in school instead of entering the workforce at age 16. The opportunity cost for these young people is the income they could have earned if they had chosen to work instead of staying in school. By staying in school for an additional 2 years, they are giving up the opportunity to earn an income that they could have made if they had started working earlier. This lost income is the opportunity cost of the increased schooling. Analyzing the other options. Option A, costs of training and employing more teachers is incorrect, because this refers to the cost incurred by the government to implement the policy, i.e., hiring more teachers, not the opportunity cost to the students. The opportunity cost focuses on what is foregone by the students, not the costs to the government. Next, option B, financial help necessary for school leavers who go to university, is incorrect, because financial help for university students would be an additional cost that the government might incur, but it is not the opportunity cost for the students staying in school. The opportunity cost for the students is not about university funding, but the lost income they could have earned if they entered the workforce earlier. Lastly, option C, government expenditure on building extra classrooms, is incorrect, because this is another cost to the government for expanding the education system, but it is not the opportunity cost for the young people themselves. The opportunity cost to the young people is what they lose out on, such as income, by staying in school for 2 more years. Moving to question 23. A person works at home making small cakes. She can make 30 cakes an hour and works for 4 hours a day. The total cost of the ingredients is $50, and she sells the cakes for $2 each. What is the opportunity cost if she takes a working day for a holiday? A. $50. B. $240. C. 30 cakes. D. 120 cakes. This question is from year 2015 October-November version 3 paper. The correct answer for this question is option D, 120 cakes. Opportunity cost refers to the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a choice is made. In this case, the person is taking a holiday instead of working for a day, and we need to calculate what she gives up by not working that day. She makes 30 cakes per hour. She works for 4 hours a day. So, in a working day, she can make 30 cakes per hour times 4 hours equals 120 cakes. Now, by not working for a day, she gives up the opportunity to make 120 cakes. So, the opportunity cost is the 120 cakes she could have made and sold if she had worked. Analyzing the other options. Option A, $50 is incorrect, because $50 is the cost of ingredients for the cake she makes, but the opportunity cost refers to what she forgoes by taking a holiday, which is the cake she could have made, not the cost of the ingredients. Next, option B, $240 is incorrect, because $240 represents the revenue she could earn from selling 120 cakes, 120 cakes times $2 per cake, but the opportunity cost is about the number of cakes she could have made, not the revenue she would earn from selling them. Lastly, option C, 30 cakes is incorrect, because 30 cakes represents the number of cakes she makes in 1 hour, but the opportunity cost is the total number of cakes she could have made during the entire day, 4 hours, which is 120 cakes. Moving to question 24. A person works at home making tablecloths. He works for 6 hours each day and makes 15 tablecloths an hour. He sells them for $10 each. He then decides to work for only 4 hours each day. What can be concluded from the above information? A. The lost profit would be $300. B. The lost revenue would be $60. C. The daily opportunity cost would be 30 tablecloths. D. The daily opportunity cost would be $50. This question is from year 2015 October, November version 2 paper. The correct answer for this question is option C. The daily opportunity cost would be 30 tablecloths. The opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a decision is made. In this case, the person decides to reduce their work hours from 6 hours to 4 hours each day. By working fewer hours, they give up the ability to make and sell tablecloths. To calculate the opportunity cost, we need to figure out: how many tablecloths does the person make in a day? We know that the person works 6 hours per day and makes 15 tablecloths per hour. Therefore, in 6 hours, the person can make 6 hours times 15 tablecloths per hour equals 90 tablecloths. Next, we need to know how many tablecloths will the person make if they work only 4 hours a day. If the person works 4 hours per day, they will make 4 hours times 15 tablecloths/hour equals 60 tablecloths. So, what is the lost opportunity? By reducing their work hours from 6 to 4 hours, the person loses the opportunity to make, which is equals 90 tablecloths minus 60 tablecloths equals 30 tablecloths. Thus, the opportunity cost of reducing their work hours is the 30 tablecloths they could have made and sold if they had continued working 6 hours a day. Moving to question 25. A power plant is built to provide electricity to a rural area in Botswana. What is the opportunity cost to the local economy of building the plant? A. The cost of the building materials. B. The price of electricity. C. The school which was not built as a result. D. The wages of the power plant workers. This question is from year 2015 October, November version 1 paper. The correct answer to this question is option C. The school which was not built as a result. Opportunity cost refers to the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a choice is made. In this case, the decision to build a power plant in a rural area comes with the use of resources, such as land, labor, and capital, that could have been used for something else. The opportunity cost is the alternative use of these resources that was not chosen. When the decision is made to build the power plant, other projects, like building a school, could be delayed or foregone due to the allocation of those same resources, labor, capital, and land. The value of the school that was not built is the opportunity cost of building the power plant. Analyzing the other options. Option A. The cost of the building materials is incorrect, because the cost of the building materials is part of the direct cost of constructing the power plant, not the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost refers to what is given up or foregone when a decision is made, not the expenses incurred in making that decision. Next, option B. The price of electricity is incorrect, because the price of electricity is a market outcome that is determined after the power plant is built and does not represent the opportunity cost. The opportunity cost refers to what could have been done with the resources used to build the power plant, not the price of the electricity produced. Lastly, option D. The wages of the power plant workers is incorrect, because the wages of the power plant workers are part of the operating cost of the plant. They are not the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost refers to what is sacrificed in terms of alternative uses of resources, not the expenditure on wages that is necessary to run the plant. Moving to question 26. A person makes sandwiches at home for 5 hours each day. She makes 20 sandwiches per hour, and she sells each sandwich for $2 each. What is the opportunity cost if she takes a holiday on a working day? A. $2. B. $40. C. 20 sandwiches. D. 100 sandwiches. This question is from year 2015 May-June version 1 paper. The correct answer for this question is option D, 100 sandwiches. Opportunity cost refers to the value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a decision is made. In this case, the person is deciding to take a holiday instead of working and making sandwiches. The opportunity cost is what she gives up by not working that day, which is the sandwiches she could have made and sold. When she works for 5 hours a day and makes 20 sandwiches per hour. In 5 hours, she can make 5 hours times 20 sandwiches per hour equals 100 sandwiches. Now, by taking a holiday, she loses the opportunity to make 100 sandwiches that she could have made if she had worked. Therefore, the opportunity cost of her decision to take a holiday is the 100 sandwiches she would have made and sold. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who might also need a little economics boost. And that's a wrap for today's video on opportunity cost. I hope these multiple choice questions helped you get a better understanding of the concept and how to approach it in your exams. Remember, the key is always thinking about what you are giving up when making a choice, whether it's time, money, or resources. Also, if you have any questions or want me to cover a specific topic, drop a comment below. I love hearing from you. And, of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to Topical Economics for more bite-sized economics lessons that will make those tricky topics a whole lot easier. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, remember, economics is all around us, so keep thinking, keep learning, and keep making smart choices.